Okay. How would you work with the university to ensure the well-being of students and a thriving student community?
First up is Abhishek.
Yep, can you hear me? Yep, sorry, quickly, just can I get the question again, please? Sorry. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. How would you work with the university to ensure the well-being of students and a thriving student community?
Okay, so I'm ready to begin. I'd like to first take action in terms of the student council. So every few months we have student council meeting where we get feedback from the students. So getting the feedback from students and what exactly is needed in the community. That's one of the things to first make an agenda that what is needed to be done throughout the year. And once the agenda is set, I'll be working with the help of the university, the staff at the student union. And then when I get to that, I'll be happy to work as we plan. So it will be planned with the student unions and the student council, making sure that we have all the student demands and all the student priorities at first. So we'll make sure that we have taken care into consideration the demands and what needs to be done at first. And then we'll just make a plan and then work towards it to make sure that we have achieved all the goals for the year.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. And just a quick reminder for candidates to turn off your cameras whilst one candidate is speaking. Next is Bobby.
Hello. Firstly, I want to say, as a student myself, I need to understand the importance of what the struggles each of us were going through, especially during this pandemic as well. Moving further, I would say I want to work on student mental health, especially the way how they are going through their sessions, online sessions, and how they are handling themselves in these stressful situations. So I want to be their guide, because as of now, I'm myself doing the same thing in terms of international business school itself. I'm doing as a mentor for January 2021. And I'm also a student rep. So I have gone through all the procedures, how each and every individual are actually going through right now. So for me, I want to make sure the community itself stays strong, and the trust we normally give for students in regards of how passionate we are, that we are going to look after students, and we need to give that belief that it is important to make sure we stay as one another and look after one another, especially at this point of time. I mean, in terms of the process, I think it's going to be the way how the procedure is going to have. Yeah, that's about it. I think it's all about us looking after them, and it is very important that we make sure we are there for one another. That's the biggest line I wanted to say in community.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Bobby. If you could turn your camera off for the next candidate. So next is Prosody.
Hi. So firstly, I will doing a survey from the students, like what they are facing and the everything, like what they are facing right now, what the difficulties. I will observing them. I'll noted it down. After that, I'll work on it. Like the main problem is right now mental well-beingness, the student safety and security. I'll make uh, I'll make survey particular for mental well-beingness, for safety, for activities. I'll make sure the students will feel safe and strong in this university. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And if you as well could turn off your camera for the next candidate. So next up is Timor.
Yeah, hi. I would like to get the feedback from the students first, so that at least I know what are their problems and what are they facing. Right now, what I've observed is that people and students are actually facing difficulties regarding their jobs and mental well-being. So I think I would like to have their feedback first, so that at least I know what they're going through. And obviously, I will ask the university's help to help me alongside it, so that we can solve those problems. Because if you actually don't know what we're up against, you cannot really, set the agendas and work towards it. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All candidates, that is question number 1. So for the next question, we'll be going in reverse order. So Tama, you'll be up first. Steph, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, sure. How would you gather feedback and views such a diverse student body, so i.e. mature, commuter, BAME, carers, international schools, etc.? So I'll ask the question again. How would you gather feedback from such a diverse student body? That could be from mature, commuter, BAME, carers, international schools, etc.
Okay, so I think, well, as we have like a really vast diversity at the university over here, I mean, you cannot possibly ask every student like what they're up against. So I think what we need to do is that we need to set up like an online portal. So, and just set up like a few questions over there. So they can come there and answer that. And then after that, we can evaluate them according to that. Like what are their top priorities and what are their least priorities and what do they think that we should do for their well-being? And what are the most common, problems they are facing in normal days while being a student over here at Hearts? So I think we definitely need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Is that your answer finished?
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next up is Prosity.
Firstly, I'll meet the student representative of all the schools and make sure they circulate the survey in every, like there are student representative of business school, law school, humanities. So I will make sure they circulate the survey in every school. I'll meet the career team, the BAME, who's the president of the president of BAME, and make sure the survey will be circulate everywhere and it will be circulate in social media, so it will be easily available for all the students. And I'll make sure like I will give like vouchers also for students who will the students who will the students who will uh no, that's all.
Yep. Okay. No worries. Thank you very much. Next up is Bobby.
Yes. Firstly, I would definitely say BAME. That's a really good question to start off with, because the surroundings, what we are around, is it's multicultural and it's completely mixed culture what we have at university. So including the professors, or this is one thing which I have noticed in our university, which is really diverse, and I am really glad to have that community bond. And in terms of question, I would definitely say I will have a weekly session, because I was also thinking about this from Hertfordshire like student SU are actually student union have actually started having sessions which are like icebreaker and different sorts of platforms which you moving further, we have to do it weekly. And while we are doing that, we need to have a questionnaire sending on charts and asking them, if you have any queries, you can just put your questions up there and explain us what you're going through, so that we will have a note of that survey. And in case if somebody wants it not to be in public, they can keep it anonymous. So these things are very critical. And I think this should be the biggest agenda, especially while everything turned out to be virtual. I think we need to have regular weekly session and get questionnaire from each and every student and getting to know their well-being. This should definitely happen. I mean, as I'm a student, I'm going through these kind of situations where I'm stuck at home. So I want to know how students are going through, and we have to make somehow like arranging more sessions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Bobby. And next up is Abhishek.
Yeah, so gathering feedback is always the first important step in any rule making, any decision making. So gathering feedback, one of the most important topic we are talking about. The first thing would be to obviously set up online online forms and stuff, because obviously there are students we are talking about. These are commuter students, these are mature students who don't feel as part of the student community still, because they come from a far place to university just to study, and they are here just during that time. We have to make sure that the time they spend at university is they feel inclusive. So I still remember there were a lot of good things done for the commuters as they made lockers and stuff. So the best thing to go forward would be just to have conversation with them, always make online surveys and make sure we encourage them to add their voice to student representatives or to the society or to anyone who attends the student council. So student council is the first place any of the feedbacks and the student voices are taken care of. So that's the place where students can share their voice, they can talk and they can question to the student union and stuff. So that's one of the best places to always get the feedback from. And there are other places like we can market on the student union website, we can market and we can provide them gifts and survey vouchers to make sure they are encouraged to take participation in that. And obviously to feel the importance, why it is very important to give that feedback. Because if we don't have feedback, we won't be able to work to the needs they have. So once the feedback is the most important part of any student union and any student experience. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Abhishek. And we have one more question, and we'll increase the time as well up to 3 minutes as well. So if you want a little bit longer to answer, we'll move that to 3 minutes. So first up for this question will be Bobby. Steph, did you want to answer the question?
Yeah.
Ask the question.
Yeah, sure. Tell me why you are passionate about taking on the role of VP Community.
Yes, firstly, I want to say, having been in university for a while, I've been fortunate to have experienced lack of interaction due to COVID restrictions. Hence, I have come to be an advocate and passionate about welfare of people around me. And I also feel like it has always been how I can be of service and enhance people around me. This has always been there within me. And during these virtual learning, what I have learned is people were actually going through a lot of difficult situations of not having their part-time jobs, and they have to pay they pay off their bills and everything. So I somewhere feel, even I'm myself been struggling with a couple of different things, but at the same time I have to manage my education alongside my mental health. So I felt somewhere like after seeing lots of after mentoring January 2021 in tech, I have seen some of the students how difficulties they are actually facing. Recently, I just want to give you an example as well. Like, there is one of the students from Nigeria. He's an international student. He was going through a lot, but then at the same, he has assignments to submit, but his mom, she passed away 5 days ago. This just happened last week. And then he reached out to me, and then I have not, I mean, I couldn't able to do anything, but then I wanted to be a person of like a shoulder to him. By sometimes it's not about what we give, sometimes it's just the conversations we have. That's what I always believe in. We need to assure that like whoever it is, whoever is reaching out to you, you always need to give the support in not just financially, or it can be in any way possible, but then it is always the most important thing is that we give assurance of saying that we are there for you. So this is what I believe in. And especially in community aspects, I always feel like we have to create this environment where students are well aware of what actually going on around university. Yes, Hafashi, like student union was having a lot of greet and meets and speed meets and all of these sessions, but at the same time, how many people are we reaching out? That is very important, because as a student, I wanted to attend many of the other sessions, which can give me a complete aspect of me forgetting not just having my time. This is very important for me, because sometimes we are fully packed up with lots of assignments. What are we doing out of the academics is very important. That will add on to our resume. I think to keep it simple, it is very important for us to look after one another. And as a community leader, I just definitely want to be there for every student who's in trouble.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Bobby. Next to answer is Timor.
I still believe that there's a lot of work which can actually be done for the community and for the mature students, and especially international students, because I'm one myself. Well, the thing is that before any student comes to the uni, I mean, some of them do actually have like previous experience, but some of them don't have any experience at all, and they don't even know what they're up against. And I've noticed a lot of students, like, just coming from other countries or like coming from other cities, and they don't really have any place to stay, which I think is really bad for a student who's like coming from another country and they don't even have any place to stay. I even met myself a few students who had like their luggages in their hand and they didn't have any place to go. So I think a lot can be done for the students. And apart from them, I think there's a lot which needs to be done on their mental health as well. Because obviously, in the current situation and maybe in the coming couple of years, I think it's going to be difficult for the students, getting out there, getting, maybe there will not be much socializing for another couple of years, I believe. So I think a lot can be done, just to improve their mental health and their social well-being. So yeah, I mean, a lot can be done because, I've faced these problems myself, and I believe that I know what can be done to, made it look good, and what are the possible outcomes from it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next up is Abhishek.
Just a second. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'm very passionate to start my role as the VP community, and there's one little story behind it, and I would like to share it. When I came to this university in September 2018, it was very different atmosphere for me. I was just 18 years old, came into a completely new country, was trying to settle in, and I found issues like how to make friends and stuff. There was a new person developing inside me. It was a sense of community I was getting here. It was a sense of welcoming and everything. So the thing why I'm so passionate about this role is the help which I received. I want to make sure that help is given out to each and every individual of this university. So I know it was such a great part to be in the freshers, and I know that past times wasn't that good. Like during COVID times, we couldn't have freshers and stuff. But there's still a lot of things we could do as a community to make sure that every student is welcomed and every student is made sure that they feel a part of the university, and that makes the student experience really nice. Reason being, if a student is very well settled, it's the grades are going to be really nice, as obviously he will keep, because student life is one of the most memorable memorable part of your life. You're going to experience it once, and I just want to make sure it's always the best. One of the other things why I'm passionate about is because of the student representation. I've been representing students and lots of bodies from past couple of years. I've represented the university at national levels, at state levels. I'm also doing the University Business Challenge, and I've got a final which I'll be representing at the whole community, our university. So the one of the best thing I like is to speak, to listen to student problems and to speak up for it. To make sure that every single voice is heard, to make sure that every single problem is taken care of, and also to make sure that there's no dissatisfaction in terms of the student experience. If you're a student and you live that life, it's once an experience in your life. So I want to make sure that the experience I had when I came into this university, I just want to make sure that it is reached to each and every individual. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. And then last up is Positive.
I'm very passionate about the VP community role, as I have served in the Students' Union as General Secretary in my undergraduate year. Apart from that, I have been the president of BA Program Society in my college. Being a peer-assisted learning leader, I got the opportunity to interact with a lot of people and realize their difficulties. I'm confident that I can seamlessly work within the students' union and make an even better quality year for the students. Blending in different communities has always been my strength because I can communicate with students in over 6 different languages. I can always take an initiative to have a positive change and work day and night for it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And that brings us to a close. That was our last question and answer. So I guess, yeah, for any students watching, obviously voting opens on Monday at 7 a.m. So please have a look at the candidates' profiles and have a look at who you'd like to vote for. Thank you very much to the 4 candidates that have joined us. There are more candidates that you can see on the website. And yeah, that brings us to a close. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for the candidates for joining us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a
lovely
good
day.
weekend.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And if you stop recording, Steph, please.
Yeah.